We was never gonna be free. I can't do this without you. There is no me without you, gang. Listen, where we been? German trenches. Chicago gangways. No vision. Freedom, guys. What's going on, people? It's your boy Clutch Chaos, back to you again with another tier list Friday video. It's been a long time. It's been a while. It's been a couple months since I dropped a tier list Friday video. I believe the last episode we were ranking, I think we ranked the Mortal Kombat 1 cameos. We've been taking a hiatus from that. Been doing other stuff, playing other games. Given that Sinners has been out lately, as you guys can see in my channel, I dropped a review on it. I just recently saw it again, so I have seen it for the second time. This makes this episode more special because we are ranking the top characters of the film. There are a total of 13 main characters, and we are just gonna rank them from best to worst. I'm not saying that there is a worse. All 13 characters that are the main ones, they did their thing, right? They played their role, they did their thing, the acting was good, the movie, there's not a bad character in this movie. There's a couple characters that you hate, but you just hate because that's what they're trying to push to you, but in reality, I enjoyed everybody's performance. I thought everybody did an excellent job. So do not take this rank as like, oh, Clutch thinks this person's trash. Out of the 13 main ones, we have to put them in a rank. We have to order them from best to worst. And that's just how it's gonna be. So don't get upset if your favorite character is in a spot that it shouldn't be in, all right? Voice your opinions in the comments section. Like the video. If you guys enjoy these, I have a link in the description down below where you can check out a whole playlist of tier list Friday videos that I've done. I've done multiple games, and I'm gonna push into the movies sooner or later. This is my pretty much first movie rank that I'm doing, so we're gonna keep doing more of these. Clutch, how are we gonna rank these characters? I'm glad you asked me, Invisible Person. This is how it's gonna be. S tier is godly. Like, they had an amazing performance. The movie is not the same if its character's not in it. That's how I take it. The A tier represents just being a great character. They had a great role. They did their thing. B tier represents good. They did a good job. C tier is pretty mid. I thought that in their performance they could have done better. And then D tier, which, spoiler warning, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna make the D tier list. Just to explain it, the D tier is just awful. They didn't impress me. They didn't do a good job. But yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna be there, but that's just me. We are ranking these characters strictly on just all-around performance, all right? What they did on screen, how good did they play their role, you know, story purposes, like, you know, we're gonna judge all of it, and then we're gonna rank the character that way. Our first character is going to be Pearline. Her character in the movie, I thought it was okay. She didn't really add anything other than the music side of her character. The music side of her character was very, very good. I loved the way she performed on film. I loved the song she was singing. She definitely did her thing in the juke joint. She was awesome, but to me it felt like they just needed a love interest for the Sammy character, so they put her in it. That's all I really got from it. I thought she was okay. As far as, if we're not talking about music, she was okay, but the music puts her at a B tier for me. If she didn't have the musical performance that she had in this film, she would have been a C tier, she would have been mid, but that's just me personally. I'm trying to think of the value she added outside of just the music portion, because I mean, she was married in the movie to a husband that we didn't see, so she was basically having an affair with Sammy. That's basically her character, and you know, she had some funny moments, especially with the garlic scene where, you know, Smoke has the gun there and is like, you gotta eat this garlic or I'm gonna shoot you, and she's like, I really don't like the taste of garlic, I hate it. So, you know, it's that whole trope of like, we have to see which one's the vampire. They're kind of making us feel like that, but she genuinely just did not like garlic. Before I continue, spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen the movie, do not watch this video. Watch the movie, come back, then re-rank, because I'm gonna be talking about everything. I'm gonna spoil things, so you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch. But yeah, I thought Pearline's character is just good. It's just a B tier for me. Our next character is the homegirl Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld. I thought she did an amazing job. I thought she was dope as hell. You know, she's a freaky girl. Alright, let's just keep it beans. Alright, there's a freaky girl on screen. I thought she did her thing though. I really did think that she did her thing. To me, Mary is A tier. I thought she was great. I wish we would have saw a little bit more of her. I mean, we did see a good portion, but I feel like once we got to the vampire stuff, we kind of saw less of her. She only had a couple of lines after that. I would have liked to have seen more of a deep dive with her between Smoke, because we got to see her character interact with Stacks a lot, because obviously they were the love connection. I would have loved to have gotten more of a dialogue between her and Smoke, because there was a point on screen where Smoke was talking to her about flowers, because she's like, you know, it's crazy how like the twins, they bought this whole juke joint, they had all this money, but they couldn't send any flowers, and Smoke's like, oh no, we send flowers. We send a lot of flowers when she was alive and well. And I would have loved to have seen more of a back and forth there. There has to be more to it than her just being white as to why Smoke doesn't really mess with her like that, because, you know, in the movie you see Smoke tell Stacks like, yo, deal with her or I'm gonna deal with her. Like, hurry up. It seems like she knew everybody. She knew Cornbread. She knew Annie. So I would have liked to have seen more from her, but she did an amazing performance. She was great. To me, she's A tier. She was excellent in this film. I really enjoyed her. And next, we have the homie, Mr. Bo Chow. So, this is how I feel about Bo in this film. I thought that the actor who played them was really good. On screen, you definitely gravitated to his character. I enjoyed the scenes that him and his wife shared, especially the music scene where they're dancing with each other. I enjoyed his character. He basically works the store, and, you know, he helped Smoke out through the whole film. So I kind of enjoyed his character to that degree, but other than that, we really didn't see much of him as much as I would have liked. He got killed off screen, so we didn't even get to see him turn into a vampire. And then when he turned into a vampire, he really didn't add any value other than that one scene where he's trying to get Grace to come outside, and that doesn't work, so he tries to come inside and have himself be invited. You see the eyes, see the vampire eyes forming. So I'm gonna say Bo was good. I thought Bo was good in the movie. What keeps him afloat at B tier and not C is that I just enjoyed his character before the vampire shit. I enjoyed his interactions with Smoke. I enjoyed his interactions with his wife. Even though he was like a side character, I rooted for him. I definitely didn't want him to die in the movie, so I'm gonna just put him at B tier. Alright, next character we have is the homie Cornbread, played by Omar Miller. Listen, every time I bring up Omar Miller, I'm always gonna be doing that because that's where I know him from. Iconic as hell in 8 Mile. I enjoyed his character. I enjoyed it. I thought he was a comedic character in this movie. It was very funny. You know, the moments where he lets Mary in, but then when somebody else comes, he's like, you got my $2, and then he starts wilding. When he's a vampire, he definitely picks it up. I enjoyed it. He definitely gave you the creepy vibes. Another character that was killed off screen, didn't really like that part. Cornbread was another good character. I thought he was good, and he's definitely better than Pearline and Bo, so he's definitely at the top of the charts for the B tier. But I enjoyed Cornbread on screen. I thought he was dope. His interaction with Stack in the beginning, where he's like, you know, it's my wife now. You know, you gotta show some respect. And he's like, well, fuck you and your wife. Like, and he's like, I'm about to beat the black off your ass. Like, he was wildin', bro. I really enjoyed Cornbread in this movie. I loved it. Everybody knows that scene where him and Annie are having a discussion where she's like, you know, you can't just walk your big ass in here without an invite. He's like, well, that wouldn't be too very nice, little Miss Annie. You know, and I don't even know why I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Smoke. Like I really love that, you know. The way he played that, the acting was so dope. Being kind to one another, like that was dope. I really enjoyed it, and he definitely gave me the creepy vibes when he was a vampire. That music scene with Jack O'Connell singing Rocky Road to Dublin. You know, you just see him like dancing in the background. He did his thing, bro. All right, next character is the homegirl, Miss Annie. Miss Annie did her thing in this movie. I really enjoyed it. She is the love interest of Smoke. On screen, she was amazing. She was definitely the character that kind of told you everything about the vampires, told you the weaknesses, told you exactly why they're here and what they do. She does a lot of the magic. I don't want to say voodoo. I don't really necessarily know, but she does a lot of like those. She's part of that witchcraft type of thing. She likes to protect her. She likes to protect Smoke. So I really enjoyed her on screen as well. She did her thing. I will put her in the same category as Mary. I would probably say she was a better character than Mary. She did her thing. I was really sad when she died in the film, but I mean, it was a full circle moment because at the end, she comes to Smoke as the angel, kind of bringing Smoke back, letting him know that, hey, you know, it's okay, you can rest. You'll be with me and the baby. She had funny lines, she had funny moments. The acting was on point. I do believe she's also the voice in the beginning where she talks about the music and how there's always a few people in different tribes of the world that when they play music, they could conjure up the spirits. So she did a lot in this movie for me. She really did. She did her thing. A tier. All right, we're moving on to the big guns here. We got the homie Stax, played by Michael B. Jordan. He is the one half of the Smoke and Stack twins. And before we even talk about him, let's just put him on S tier. Oh man, such a godly character. I love Stax in this movie. He gave you the comedy. He gave you that seriousness. He gave you that romanticness, the drama. I mean, the chemistry between him and Mary was amazing. It was toxic. It was freaky. I enjoyed it. I mean, like that's such an iconic scene, man, where he's just like, you know, he's trying to give Mary a better life, and Mary's like, fuck that. I want to be with you. Like I don't understand why you don't just be real. And he's like, what you want me to say? That I love you? That I think about you every day? Like, if anybody put their hands on you, me and my brother, we're gonna kill them where they stand. And it's like, I love his character. It was so dope. It was sad to me that he was the one that got killed by the vampires, but his personality makes so much sense with why they decided to go with Stax to be the vampire. I love the ending scene where he comes back in the 90s and it just goes to prove that, you know, it's exactly what Annie says, that these guys, they live forever. You gotta kill them one by one. I think Smoke and Stax are the only two characters that had an interaction with every single character on screen. I feel like Stax really like showed his charisma to all these characters. It was dope. The scene between him and Delta Slim where he's like, you know, fuck you, it is me, Elias Moore, and I'm kindly talking to my big brother right now, so I'm gonna ask you to shut the fuck up. Like I love those scenes. I love the scenes between Stax and Smoke. They were just so dope. It was so effortless. I enjoy it, and it just goes to show how hard Michael B. Jordan like worked on this role, like to play two different characters and for both of them to be twins but be very, very different. You gotta give your hat to him, man. Stax was definitely an S tier character. All right, the next character on screen is the homegirl Grace Chow. She is the wife of the homie Bo, and I thought that she also had a good performance. I think she had a better performance than Pearline and Bo. I don't think she passes Cornbread. I don't think she passed Cornbread, but she did have an impact in the movie. She was pretty much the reason why a lot of people don't like her character, because of what she did, letting the vampires in. But I mean, listen, you gotta understand from her perspective, she's the mother of her daughter, Lisa. She didn't want the vampires to kill her. And they were pretty much saying, hey, if you don't let us in, we're gonna go after your daughter. So I get it. I love the one-shot scene where the daughter gets Grace, and then Grace is crossing the street. You kind of see the similarity, you kind of see the differences. You kind of see the white people in the background, and then as she passes the street, you can see the black people. So just to show like the divide, especially with her character as well. But yeah, I thought she did good. I thought it was a B tier in my opinion, though. All right, next character is the homie Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo. S tier for me. S tier for me. Not better than Stax, but S tier. Delta Slim in this movie was, he gave you the pain, he gave you the seriousness, he gave you the comedy. This character did it all, man. I enjoyed his character. I enjoyed his presence on screen. The first time we ever see him, with him, Stax, and Sammy, you know, Stax is pretty much hyping up Sammy, like, you know, this is supposed to be the next blues player, and he's like, what this little boy know about the blues? And like, I love when Sammy's trying to show him, and he's like, put that motherfucker away. Like, I love it. And then the scene between him and Stax, where Stax is like, you know, you keep threatening him, I'm gonna make you swallow that, I'm gonna make you swallow them shots. You feel me? I think he said that harmonica or some shit. And then you see Delta like, it shit makes me laugh every time I see it. But then you got the seriousness, right? You got the seriousness of Delta Slim, where he's talking about in the car, where he's like, you know, I had a friend of mine, I think they played blues for some white folks, and then they gave him like a lot of money and they spent it all on alcohol, but his friend wanted to take the train, move out of wherever they was moving to go start a family and stuff. And you know, he talks about how the white people, the KKK, got him. And you see that deep tone, that pain, and then for him to flip it and turn it into a song, and for him to get, he starts to get hyped. That was so dope. I seen an interview that Delroy Lindo did, and he talked about that scene, and when it starts to get to the singing portion, it was all improvised. So that just lets you know the genius of his character. Like he felt like that's what the scene needed, and it was just so dope. I appreciated his character. I thought he was funny as hell in every scene he was in. You know, especially the garlic scene where he's choking, but he's like, I drunk too much, and then he does this shit. He does the I'm fine. Like that was so dope. He talks about the vampires. He's like, you know, I knew a vampire once. She bit all of me but my neck. Like, I love this character. He's an S tier for me. All right, another great character on screen that did his thing. Remick. I'm gonna put Remick in S tier. I'm gonna put him in front of Delta Slim, and I'm gonna put him in front of Stax. I love Stax's character, but I just love the deeper meaning of Remick's character. I love the similarities that they put Remick in to combine him with the devil. That was his character in the film. You know, he's supposed to be this head vampire. He has a way with words. He's been on this earth for so many years that he has a way of talking to people. He knows how to manipulate people the same way that the devil does. I love the actor. I love the singing. Everything this character did in this movie was so well thought out. It was strategic. Everything he was doing in this movie was to manipulate. He was trying to manipulate anyone he came in contact with. I enjoyed his character on screen. I love the ending where Sammy is reciting the prayer. Remick decides to say the prayer with him to basically tell him, like, listen, the people, you know, what you're praying, you know, your religion is the same thing that they tried to force on me. And, you know, they took my land, they took my people, you know, so as much as I hate this prayer, it gives me comfort. These words bring me comfort. As soon as he comes into the movie where he's pretty much going into the to the neighbors' houses and trying to persuade them to let him in, once we get to that part, you really see his character. You start to see the gravitational pull, and then the music scene where you see that he's witnessing all the ancestors, and he's like, oh, I want that for myself. I love the little moments where he's singing, you know, I let that jaybird laugh, and I pick poor Robin Clay. Like that shit was dope to me. That song is fire. I love that song, and I just love all the characters he interacts with in this movie. I enjoy it with Smoke, with Mary, with Stax, with Sammy. Most of all with Sammy, it was amazing. Jack O'Connell did his thing. S tier character. And another great character. There's a lot of great actors in this movie. There's a lot of great characters in this movie as well. Next character is Sammy. Sammy's character, I'm gonna put him in the second place right here. I thought that Sammy's character was so dope. I did not expect him to be the main character. I didn't expect him to see on screen as much as I did. The music portion of his character was well thought out. Loved it. Loved the actor who played them. He did a hell of a job. I love the connections that he has with his cousins. I love how different they are, where it's like where he's talking with Stax, he's more loose and more comfortable. And when he's talking with Smoke, you could kind of see there's more of a respect factor. Like, he respects Stax, of course, but there's more of like, Sammy's making it aware to Smoke that I respect you, that I have to act a certain way when I'm around you, because Smoke don't fucking play games in this shit. I love the interactions between Smoke and Remick, because, you know, Sammy's dad refers to Sammy playing the guitar as like, that's the devil's music, and one of these days he's gonna knock at your front door, and that's Remick. And I love that back and forth. I love Sammy in this movie. I thought he did a hell of a job. I thought he was dope. And like I said, the singing, bro, I mean, I love the music in this movie, and I love that he is one of the main people that's putting that music out there. All right, next character. Okay, so these two characters, Bert and Joanne, I'm gonna put them in the same category. I'm gonna put them at C tier. I'm gonna put Joanne in front of Bert because I thought that even though they were mid characters, I thought Joanne was a little bit more creepier than Bert, so she's gonna get the nod. to be ahead of him. They're pretty much just remix lackeys. Like, they don't really add any value other than they just add the creepy factor to it. I enjoy their singing as well, but you know, basically they were just the racist couple that Remick, you know, stumbled upon. And you know, Hogwood, which is the Grand Wizard, the Grand Dragon of the KKK clan, his nephew is Bert, and that's where you get the connection of why Remick chose Bert and then Joanne and all that stuff. So, but all in all, they weren't really on screen that much. They really didn't provide anything impactful. All they did was a couple musical numbers, which I enjoy. And like I said, just because they're mid characters, I'm only comparing their characters to everybody. I'm comparing their characters to the main characters. So if you want to talk about in general, I thought everybody on this list did a hell of a job. I thought they did their thing. But if we're comparing these 13 characters specifically, I gotta put Joanne and Bert at the bottom. I gotta put them at mid. They weren't terrible. They weren't bad. You hated their characters because of what they stood for and what they represented. But the acting was dope. I love the creepy factor of the characters. And I love the music part. But I just thought that they weren't really on screen that much for me to be like, okay, like what else did they contribute as far as just a couple of sentences and music? That's all they did. And our final character is the second half of the Smoke and Stax twins, the older brother Smoke. And he is S tier, and he is the number one. He is the best character. He is my favorite character of the movie. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan to play two different people, become twins, to have so much difference in each character, where Stax is the happy, loose one, and Smoke is the very calm, stoic, never smile, all about his business. Every time Smoke was on screen, you just paid attention, you listened. You know, the first time they meet Hogwood, and he's like, you know, we ain't boys. You know, we have grown man bullets. And I love where he's like, you know, if any of your clan buddies come over here, we're gonna kill them where they stand. I love that he checks on Sammy and says, you know, your father ain't putting hands on you, right? All right, just making sure, you know, he's always been a good dude. He's a good uncle. I love his interaction with the little girl in the film, where he's like, hey, come here, you know, you ever heard of Smoke and Stack twins? She's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm Smoke. And he's like, hey, you're not in trouble, but I need you to wash this car, and I'm gonna pay you 10 cents. And she's like, yeah, deal. And he's like, no, don't take the first number. You always throw a number back at me. We negotiate. That's how it works. And I just love him teaching her that. That was dope. I love the interactions between him and Annie. It was so special. You saw the real love and the chemistry there. Obviously, the love between him and his brother were dope. I love it where he's like, you know, all he wanted to do was protect Stax. And Stax vice versa is like, you know, I can't live life without you. I can't do this without you, Smoke. Like, I love their chemistry together, and it's the same fucking person. It's the same actor. Smoke is the best character. End of discussion. Alright guys, and that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list ranking. Just to tally it up right here, so the S tier, these are the characters that I thought were godly in the movie. Smoke being the best one, then Remick, then Sammy, then Stax, and then Delta Slim. The A tier, which were the great characters, I thought it was Annie and Mary. The B tier, which are just the good characters, Cornbread, Grace, Perline, and Bo. And then the mid characters were just Joanne and Bert. And that's just what it was for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the ranking video. I'm going to do more of these in the future, so don't you worry about that. We're going to do games and movies. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video. Please like the video if you guys enjoy. Comment your favorite parts. Comment your own list. If you guys have a tier list of your own, let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the list? And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate and love all you guys. I just want to make people laugh and feel good at the end of the day, man. So I'm happy to be doing this. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Cue the music. Freedem, guys. I'm out of here. Sinners, I might go see it for a third time, but that's just me. Freedem, guys.